when y'all ready.
1 sec, we're good. You're ready, sir. 10 seconds.
We all ready? Chief Edwin Bergeron Jr. with the Hammond Police Department. We're here in reference to the incident that occurred last night at Southeastern University during the Hammond High graduation. We do have a suspect in custody. We're going to let Chief Michael Beckner with Southeastern Police Department, he's going to come in, he's going to give y'all some basic information on the suspect, and then we'll go into Melissa Stilley, who's the superintendent of schools, and answer any questions that y'all may have, and we'll give you as much information as we can at this time.
Again, I'm Chief Michael Beckner with the Southeastern University Police Department. Last night, minutes after the incident took place, Southeastern University Police Department took Trent Thomas, age 20, of Hammond into custody, and has since been charged with 3 counts of attempted murder in the 2nd degree, possession of a firearm on a gun-free campus, and obstruction of justice, and is being held in the Amite jail at this time. Like I said, we want to thank, Southeastern definitely wants to thank Hammond Police Department, the TPSO, and the state police for their quick response in aiding us in this investigation.
At this time, Miss Melissa Stilley, she's superintendent of schools, would like to say something.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank all of our law enforcement agencies that were so very quick to respond and be here just very, very quickly. Also to our medical providers that were here and able to get the victims that were impacted to our medical facilities very quickly and get them assistance they needed. A big shout out to all of those individuals. We need to do that. Also, I want to be sure to mention that our school system, of course, is cooperating fully with law enforcement. We're working very closely with them. We are providing any information that we have that could be beneficial to the investigation. We are providing to law enforcement because we want justice to be served in this situation. Graduation is a very special time for our seniors and their families. It was very sad that it ended in a very violent way for our families and the graduates and the faculty. So I want us to remember and to pray for our families that were impacted, the victims that were impacted, the families, everyone here. We had hundreds of people here. This stadium was packed with family members and friends watching their loved ones graduate. And let's be remembering everyone that was either here and was part of the violence, being here, or was impacted directly by that event. But I just want to thank again the law enforcement, and it's just the teamwork that we have here with Southeastern, the city of Hammond, and also our sheriff's department. And our DA is just exceptional, and I just appreciate the support of our law enforcement in this case. Thank you.
So the particulars of the investigation that we can give out is at some point there was an altercation between our suspect that we have in custody and another group of people, specifically one individual who is a juvenile. So we're not going to release his name, but he is a person of interest. We do believe, or we do know that the victims, unfortunately, that were shot had absolutely nothing to do with it. Originally, the information we received that there was 4 victims that were shot. At this point, we've learned there's actually only 3 that were shot, and the 4th that was at the hospital received an injury as they were trying to escape the area. All 3 of the people have been released from the hospital. The 4th victim is still in the hospital, is listed as stable, is believed to be non-life threatening. I apologize, but The altercation occurred. We are currently investigating it. We have detectives that are steadily working with it. It's Hammond Police Department as well as Southeastern doing the joint investigation. We have the assistance of the Louisiana State Police, Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office. Last night it was impressive, the people that came out to assist us. Scott Perilou, the district attorney, parish president Robbie Miller, and our mayor Pete Pinapinto, they all came on scene and were there to help us. Acadian Ambulance, the Hammond Fire Department, just the number of people that were here. We were fortunate that they had some people that were at the graduation that were either law enforcement or medical personnel that began rendering aid pretty quick to one of the victims. Listen, the sad thing is that people bring guns to events like this when it should be a joyous moment for people that have spent the last 12 years of their life and come to a graduation, and then all of a sudden we end up in a situation like this. I know Chief Beckner will touch on, because I'm sure y'all going to have questions about safety protocols and all moving forward. He will touch on that briefly if y'all have any of those, but the investigation is going. We do believe there will be more arrests. We believe that there's probably going to be more than one shooter. Two, we believe, is what we're thinking at. But we're going to continue to do the investigation. We will update y'all through any kind of press release or something like that as we get more information. So, any questions?
Do you have any knowledge as to what led to the altercation, Chief?
You know, right now we're investigating possible gang affiliation of sorts. We're not 100% positive on that, but that is definitely a potential. We believe that both of them were here, or both groups, or the shooter that we have in custody as well as the other person that the altercation were here to watch graduation of a friend of theirs or somebody they know, at which point they came across each other on the opposite side of the university center than where we are now. It then proceeded to come around here, which is where all the kids come out after the graduation. So we do believe that that could be a possible motive, but that's still ongoing, and we're going to do the best we can to determine the final motive as we move forward.
The entire altercation occurred outside the graduation ceremony?
Yes.
After it, right? After it was over?
Yes, the graduation ceremony was over, and people were starting to exit, and that's when it occurred.
Do you know how many shots were fired in total?
You know, I don't want to give that number out because I don't know a definite number. I would say at least 10 shots, but I can't give a definite number on that.
Did you talk to the people of Hammond, the parents who were there, or the students, and just moving forward, whatever your message is to them?
Listen, guys, Hammond is a safe community. We have great law enforcement presence. When this first happened, Southeastern Police Department, Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office were actually working the event. Hammond Police Department, who wasn't working the event, we were here in less than 60 seconds to assist these guys. Our officers, Southeastern Police Office, Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office, Louisiana State Police, and all the other agencies that showed up, we were here quick. We were here quick, and I think that the unbelievable great response of our officers is what probably prevented bigger issues and more incidents. So, you know, moving forward, look, we're going to do an evaluation of the protocols. I know Chief Beckner's already been working with that. He's on top of that, and he's going to be handling that. And Hammond Police Department and the Sheriff's Office and all of our partnering agencies are going to assist him in anything we can do to make it sure that it's safe moving forward.
Chief, how many people were firing weapons?
We don't know that for sure at this point. We do believe at least 2.
Chief, there was some law enforcement out here earlier today kind of scoping out. Can you kind of tell us what was happening?
Well, you know, all this happened at nighttime, right? So we contacted Louisiana State Police Crime Lab. They came out and processed the scene for the investigation. And I think the detectives, Southeastern and Hammond Police Department detectives, are just doing a secondary crime scene look. You know, you have to hammer it all down. It's a little bit easier in daytime, although the parish parish president supplied, you know, light plants and all that for us last night. It's just always better to do a secondary walkthrough the next day.
Chief, can you say if your second suspect was returning fire with the first suspect, or were these two in cahoots?
We believe that they were not in cahoots. We believe that they were the two that got into the original altercation with each other. Any other questions?
Yeah, going forward, are you guys going to be having more security?
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
Did you find a couple different bullet casings that lead you to believe that there was more than one?
We're not going to get far into that part of the investigation. You know, that's what the crime lab's for. They do the processing. They will be giving us all the information, giving Southeastern all the information as soon as they can process through it.
Were either of the two shooters, what's their affiliation to the high school? They were just here to watch? Or one was graduating and one was watching?
We believe they were just here watching people that were graduating. The juvenile subject attended Hammond High prior, but was not a current student at Hammond High.
what type of firearms were used?
I can't say that exactly what it was. It was handguns.
Were the victims all family members of graduates?
I don't know the family relations.
Chief, how big of a problem are gangs in this area?
Listen, I think that gangs are a problem everywhere. So I think that all you have to do is turn on the news. Chief Beckner told me this morning that over the last couple of days there was 3 different shootings in our country at high school graduations. That is a sad scenario when you have people that are bringing guns to high school graduations. I think gangs are a thing. They're juveniles that a lot of them are involved in, and it's something that we are actively working in this area. We have officers assigned that are working with the district attorney's office and District Attorney Scott Parallew, that we do identify anybody that we may believe are affiliated, and we're just going to go after them with the best way that we can and try to get them put in jail.
Was Trent Thomas one of those you had identified as you looked into this gang problem?
I'm not sure exactly where the identification comes from. Hammond Police Department has a detective that's assigned that does that. So I don't exactly know where he was lined up or where they may have identified him as being affiliated.
I understand that graduations are set, I believe, for tonight and through the weekend. Are those going to keep as planned?
Yes, we currently have 3 graduations set for this weekend. The final 3, all schools from Livingston Parish. I have reached out to the Livingston Parish Superintendent today to give him some guidance and some assurances that there will be a police presence here. They're bringing some of their SROs as normal high schools do, bring their SROs. We will have officers on scene, and we're requesting that people who attend the graduations come into the building with cameras and phones only. Leave their bags in their cars or leave them at home. These are the last 3 of the year. After that, the university is going to meet, and we're going to start reviewing some protocols and looking at some other safety measures that we can take to mitigate some of these risks. You've got to understand there was a large officer presence here last night, and it still occurred. So we're gonna look at other ways that we can mitigate risk for people entering any event on Southeastern.
Chief, you said that you were recommending people bring cell phones only. Will we be having any type of metal detectors or anything like that on presence?
No, at this point we do not. That is one of the things that we're looking into buying for upcoming events, for all events on Southeastern, is actually putting magnetometers in our arenas. It's just another deterrent. There again, you go through the airport and people get through them all the time. It's a deterrent. Cameras in the parking lots, cameras in the buildings, they're deterrents. Nobody's watching a camera 24 hours a day live. So, officer presence, the presence of cameras and the presence of some other deterrents, may stop this. It's not 100% guaranteed that you'll ever stop anything. But like I said, we'll have people here tonight. Hammond will be patrolling the area a little bit more, and I think we'll be safe.
Chief, I'm sorry,
Can you tell us
did
anything
you say
about
you're
how the
considering-
Trent Thomas was
so you're
arrested?
considering magnetometers, or?
Yes.
Can you tell us how Trent Thomas was identified and arrested? Was he arrested on site here?
Yeah, he was arrested within minutes. One of our officers actually saw him fleeing and chased him on foot and took him into custody.
Chief, what do you say to the people who were in attendance yesterday and who parents and families who are expected the next
I completely agree with the superintendent and with Chief Bergeron. This is the time people spend 12 years of their life to get to this day, to graduate and move on to college, military, or whatever they may do in life. This is supposed to be a day where everybody's happy, where families are proud of their kids. And something like this, just they don't have that memory of the joyous occasion now. They have a memory of people running and shots being fired in a parking lot. Just to put it bluntly, this is a cowardly act, and I think that we've got to do something and to end this. I'm a firm believer. I think the families need to remember the joyous part of their students and their family members walking across the stage receiving that diploma, and like I said, take heed of what happened, but remember that experience they had inside the building.
How soon is the next graduation?
Oh, it'll be tonight,
At what time?
7 o'clock.
All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and end it here. We're not going to take any more questions. We do have some work to get back to do. The investigation is going to continue. If we have follow-up arrests, we will make sure that we notify everybody. Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate it. And we'll hopefully get more information to y'all as soon as it comes available. All right, thank y'all.
What charges? That's the only thing we did is get what charges?
Chief Beckner advised it was
Yeah, it's 3 counts of second-degree attempted murder, possession of a firearm in a gun-free zone, and obstruction of justice.
What was the second one again?
Possession of a firearm in a gun-free zone.
And will you guys email out the mugshot?
Yes, our PIO will be sending the mugshot. If anybody wants to get with it, it's Miss Lisa Lambert is our public information officer right here in the white shirt. She can get it sent to y'all. Thank y'all, guys.
Thank you.